Every generation of aviation for decades has been obsessed with speed. The female engineer between 22 and 25 years old slowly inspects the wing edge in the quiet space. And the workers continue tightening every bolt according to strict procedure, while the sound of engine testing echoes softly from the far end of the hangar. For many years, the aviation industry has always viewed reducing flight time as the greatest goal of every technical improvement. From the first propeller aircraft to modern jets, humanity has always believed that the future meant moving faster and faster.
But when modern flights are already capable of crossing oceans within only a few hours, a new question begins to emerge inside the engineering hangars themselves.
The male engineer looks at the fuel consumption data board and realizes that higher speed usually brings greater pressure on structural systems and the environment. The Caucasian female engineer quietly observes the test cabin and notices that today's passengers no longer care only about arriving a few minutes earlier. The young workers continue working steadily under the cold white lights, while the engineers begin debating the true purpose of aircraft in the future. The central question slowly becomes clear that the future of aviation may no longer lie in speed, but instead in an entirely different value. In the normal operational state of modern aviation, every aircraft is optimized to balance flight time, cost, and safety. The male engineer explains that airlines always calculate every minute because even a small delay can affect the entire operational schedule.
Higher speed demands stronger thrust and greater fuel consumption.
For many decades, the aviation industry developed based on the mindset that faster always meant more modern and more powerful. The modern matte gray narrow-body jet aircraft behind the terminal are proof of an entire era dedicated to optimizing global travel speed.
The engineers understand very clearly that passengers once viewed long flight times as unacceptable during periods of strong economic growth.
Because of that, nearly every technical advancement from engines to materials once revolved around helping aircraft fly farther and faster.
Modern technology has now begun changing the focus of design itself.
Instead of only asking how fast aircraft can fly, engineers are now asking how aircraft can serve humanity in better ways. The contradiction begins to appear when many studies show that continuing to increase speed no longer delivers benefits proportional to the cost. Male engineer looks at the fuel consumption graph and realizes that every percentage increase in speed causes operational costs to rise far more sharply than expected. The female engineer compares cabin noise data and notices that modern passengers actually prioritize quietness and stability more than absolute speed. The young workers continue working beneath the aircraft, while the debate between performance and passenger experience becomes increasingly visible.
Many major airports around the world have also begun facing pressure to reduce emissions and noise limitations rather than racing for greater speed as before.
That causes the engineers to realize that the future goal of aviation is no longer simply reducing a few more minutes of flight time.
Modern aircraft are now being placed into a new equation where environmental efficiency, human experience, and sustainability become central priorities.
Whether if speed is no longer the highest priority, then what exactly aviation will move toward next? The young workers say nothing, but they are directly participating in the greatest transformation of modern aviation. The core reason lies in the fact that today's world is completely different from the era when jet aviation first exploded decades ago.
The male engineer explains that once the global network has already become fast enough, the greatest value no longer lies in speed, but in sustainable connectivity.
The female engineer continues analyzing that the future of aircraft is now being evaluated through energy efficiency and reduced environmental pressure.
The workers inspect the new electrical systems on the aircraft body, while hybrid and hydrogen technologies begin changing the entire design mindset. Future aircraft must not only carry people faster, but also operate more quietly, more cleanly, and more safely within crowded urban spaces. The major goal now is optimizing efficiency rather than pushing speed to the extreme.
The female engineer adds that future passengers will evaluate flights through comfort, stability, and low environmental impact.
Even airlines themselves have begun realizing that fuel costs and emissions are the pressures that determine long-term survival. That forces the entire industry to rethink the true role of aircraft within modern society. Future aircraft are gradually being viewed as intelligent connection systems rather than machines racing against time. A male engineer stands silently inside the maintenance hangar and understands that the greatest revolution in aviation lies not in speed but in design philosophy.
If speed once represented progress, then today sustainability is becoming the new measurement of aviation technology.
The female engineer compares the two design philosophies and realizes that old aircraft focused on overcoming distance, while new aircraft focus on harmonizing with the world. The young workers continue inspecting the aircraft body beneath the cold lighting, while each generation of technology quietly changes the purpose of the industry itself. Aircraft of the past were created to prove how fast humanity could fly, while aircraft of the future are created to serve life in better ways. The male engineer realizes that a quiet flight with fewer vibrations and lower energy consumption holds greater long-term value than a few minutes saved in travel time.
The female engineer looks at the route simulation and sees that flexible connections between smaller cities are becoming the next important direction.
Artificial intelligence systems are also being developed to help aircraft optimize routes and reduce consumption, rather than simply forcing higher speed. That shows that the future of aviation is shifting from a mindset of conquest toward a mindset of balance and adaptation to modern society. Even the matte gray narrow-body aircraft inside today's hangar already carry a completely different design philosophy from before. The male engineer understands that the aviation industry is no longer racing to shock the world with speed, but is now trying to maintain humanity's long-term trust. The female engineer slowly turns off the simulation screen and realizes that the future of the sky will be decided more by quality of experience than by technical extremity. The young workers complete the final inspection shift in the clean and quiet environment, like a symbol of the silent transformation of the entire industry. In the end, the question of the title now has a clear answer, that the future of aviation.
Future aircraft are now being redefined as vehicles that serve sustainability, connectivity, and the stability of modern life.
The male engineer looks toward the runway stretching beneath the nightlights and understands that the most mature technology is not the fastest technology.
The female engineer stands beside the matte gray aircraft body and realizes that true progress sometimes means stop.
The aviation industry once proved that humanity could fly faster than every limitation, but now it is learning how to fly more intelligently and more responsibly.
Lowbrixt. Inside the quiet space behind the terminal, the young engineers understand that the future sky will not belong to the fastest machines,